Hi. So welcome to Ocean Yumi's channel. Um, basically, I'm doing a live. I'm gonna talk about the leftovers of the carbonation because there is a lot of activity going on with them. There is one lot called the Tribe of Light. Then there's Source. I think he is the part of the Tribe of Light. Musa, obviously, you see that he's. I mean, most of these peoples that are or was part of carbonation, right, all doing just about nearly the same thing. You can say. I would only say the difference between the Tribe of Light and carbonation is that they actually came out of America. They actually went to America. The mother did. The mother, and I can't remember. I don't know what the other young lady is or who she is, but she went. They went to Uganda. They traveled to Uganda, and they are literally out there. I mean, right now, I think the only thing that I'm upset with them for is that they're begging for cash outs because I think she's either stranded there or something's going on there. But they initially has left and went to Uganda, and Vibes and Flow are doing okay. They're doing okay. They're bringing up their children in the environment to which they want to bring the children up, living naturally, organically. Um, I don't get an inkling that they are talking to them. I mean, they all follow each other on IG anyway, without just they follow each other. They also, what I'm also looking as well is the people to which they follow because as we know, Velvet and Solar has gotten together and talking about rebooting carbonation, but not everybody's in agreement with it. Like I said, Tori is not in agreement with it, aka Joy. So, and she talked about the dangers of it. So most of the group has either grown, evolved, and turned into something else, and some of them are still stuck. Now, saying that they are some of them that you will probably will never be spoken about because, i.e., they're either they're off of social media. So it's very hard to find them because there was the one with the two young ladies who's got a whole sanctuary. I think it's in Honduras. I spoke about Baba Kevin, who's doing his work. He hasn't been on social media for a very long time from when the last video that I put of him. There's another one that runs with Baba Kevin, and I think they're connected to the guy who's going around doing all sorts as well, because they are ones that following Nature Boy's ideology on certain stuff, taking younger women, calling them their wives. It's a lot going on between the what you call it, the tribes and the inner tribes. Like I said, there is a huge connection of um people surrounding them, so they tap into each other a lot. Now, I was going to actually talk about the Source one, but the Source one, he's the one who's actually following Solar and Velvet. Hi, Skydicus. Oh yeah, hi. I don't believe in that holiday, the Thanksgiving thing, because I know the complications with it. But thanks for passing through. Yeah, but the carbonation, they do the same operative things. What they do, they leave. Some of them who leave, um, totally leave, and some do the same operation, i.e., puts up cash apps, um talk about alternatives of life, but they never what you call it, they never come out of. It's not, I would say it is a brainwashing. It is a brainwashing because Velvet, not Velvet, Zoka left as well, and she came back. Now I went to Sweet Martha Life's live, and she actually knows a lot about this girl Velvet. Um, and solar, well, I mean solar, we know about solar in general, but most of the carbonation leftovers, i.e., there's one called Lucifer, I think his name is, and there was another guy who tried to join, but Nature Boy didn't like how he was so alpha, and he left. He joined Lucifer, I think he is, some little white guy with loads of tattoos, and some of them, like I said, some is on online and some is not. So to pinpoint everybody is it's a task, you know what I mean? And this is where I big up some of the content creators who go and actually go and find where exactly what they're doing, where they're doing sites, all that. Because sometimes, like, you'll be looking and they will automatically come up on timeline. Now, Source now is got issues. If anybody remembers Khadijah, who was with Velvet and Nature Boy in the hotel at one point when Nature Boy came back from when he went to jail in Nicaragua. Well, he's having issues with Khadijah of prison. I am actually going to put that up because that just brings up to present some of the ones that are not spoken about really. Source, I think he's called Source or something. I can't remember his name exactly. And there is also, like I said, Vibes and Flow is doing their thing because they are doing exactly what they said that they're gonna do. The eco village thing. Yeah, yeah, the eco village thing. The I mean, they're raising their the children, because they got two, raising their children naturally. She's already done a home birth online already. So she has already ticked off all the boxes to which they are doing, which is like being outside of the grid. Now, the Tribe of Light, which is Crown Menelin. That's it, Crown Menelin. Crown Menelin, most of them is in Uganda. There was two went to Uganda, I think. Two of them went to Uganda. I think one's trying to come back from Uganda. One's left. One's trying to come back. The mother of the young boy who went out with Velvet is trying to come back. So what she's doing, she's asking for cash apps to come back. I was trying to catch her live one time so I could show it, because as much as I can look down on them, I can kind of see some of them has learnt something from whatever they learnt. Like, it just, the thing with me is that she looks so skinny. She's also a Trinidadian lady. She's very thin in size, you know. But she looks like she enjoyed herself, because the bits of pictures that I've seen on her timeline tells me she really enjoyed herself connecting to, the motherland, etc. Now, Source, he's still in, I think he's in Honduras or Puerto Rico. Now, he used to go out with Khadijah. Now he's with a young lady called Imani. Okay. And I don't be watching them all the time. It's just that they jump up on timelines, right? Once you're following somebody, they will jump up on your timeline. You'll see them, and then like it's less for you to go and see whatever else is going on. Now, some of the women that we seen is I think Kite and them lot. I'm still trying to find them because I heard that Kites, one of them was following the Muslim thing, posting up Muslim stuff, all that Farrakhan stuff and all that, which means nothing, by the way. Just posting it up. You actually have to be doing the thing, the practice, the living. That is because the whole lifestyle. Them, I'm not sure what's happening with them. I'm looking to see what else or who else is talking about them. So that's Kite and his wife, baby, as well. I was also talking about, apart from them, I have posted up a lady whose husband and her went through CPS, and they sound like them. They are not of them. So if you see them along the way, he is not part of carbonation. That is Salisha and Armin, who's Armin Ra's mother. Okay, so yeah, that's basically what I want to say on this live, basically, till I come up again, and I will probably project some of what people's doing, because it's best to put everybody on an even kill. It's all well and good watching Miss Velvet, but I like that some people is watching Velvet, because then we can see all her faults. Sweet Martha like pulled out a whole heap box, a whole Pandora box, I would say, the other day, that I didn't know initially about Velvet. Considering that that video that I put up of her sister, a lot of people didn't get what her sister was saying, and she sounded angry. And also, so not that she was angry, she helped her out, and she literally spat in her face. Basically, that's all that is about with her sister. Okay, yes, Sweet Ma went ham on Velvet, because Sweet Ma has seen it from long time. When I came, I think she just had baby Eliana. That's when I started watching them. So I literally had to go backwards. That's why it's best to go backwards to understand the situation, so you can understand how deep this wormhole is. Because when she said that she is the chief, the one who began carbonation, she wasn't the one who began carbonation. Nature Boy began carbonation, then he was with Yaya and Pocahontas in the beginning. So if people know of those names from the beginning, it's best to go right back. Anybody who's talking about them, you need to go right back. Hi, Ramiro. Right back to when he started Melanation, Pocahontas, Kayla, all that one, before he got into the Hadou to the free god mode. You have to go all the way back. So any reactor that is new on the circuit, right? You need to tap into the older reactors to understand what is going on, because they can explain you and they can tee you into what is going on, so you have an idea of why he is in prison. Because not a lot of people understands why Nature Boy is in prison. They think that how it's a what you call it what you call it scratching my head. It's a injustice, but he is not a Black Panther like Marumba Abdul Marum what's his name, Marumba Abdul, I think his name was. He's not like that. So I'm just letting everybody know, if you are going to become a reactor as well, right? Because you have to do this right, because then able to know what is going on with the tribes, because there's tribes. They're not a tribe. Carbonation is one tribe. Carbonation is the mother, but there are other tribes around who is still who's copying the template of carbonation. Then there's Yak Yakin Yakin Yakin, I think his name is. He has a bunch of women who just calls him God. They say, "Yes, my God." Okay, so there is a lot. If I was to explain it all, I would have to find all the old videos for you to understand exactly where this is. Exactly where this stands, and now this is where it stands. Because at the rate things are going, it looks like he might even possibly come out, because the two witnesses, i.e. Janae, Velvet, who also charged him, is doing stupidness right now. And it, even though they can keep him in on some things, they might not be able to keep him in on those charges that those two girls serve, because Velvet is right now, I would say she's messing up her case major. She's done a Janae. So I will say to people, right, it's best to look backwards first to understand the situation, because it is very major, it's very vital. Velvet has abused people in the past too, because it was said that she did used to hit people as well, right? She and Malia fight on the beach. and she bit Malia's breast. Okay, so Malia also got infected. Malia had to go and kiss her foot and her hand when it happened. So, it is very serious. This is a serious thing. Not only that, is real life. I always say, I put myself in mind of if it was my daughter and son being around carbonation, because it's easy to turn a mind. Not only that, a schizophrenic boy was following carbonation. He didn't take his pills. His eyes started to widen. He started to get a little bit manic. And he did film it. I don't know whether that video is still around where he spoke to Nature Boy. Nature Boy rejected him. Okay. So there's all that to consider. I think True spoke to him. Yes, I think I'm gonna react to the fight again soon. That fight was so horrible. She gave Malia infection due to the bite. Yes, she did. Grand Rising, love your work. Yeah, 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 he is, isn't he? Like, yes, Ramel is really good at the YP stuff. He makes it funny, he makes it interesting. But yeah, the fight on the beach happened because he he stirred it up between the girls. So basically, Malia fought for where she is now. She fought for being the queen, right? Because Velvet was always the queen of carbonation. So when they went to the beach, when he was playing the trap music, right, he incited it between them, and therefore, right, they ended up fighting. And while they were fighting, Velvet almost drowned Malia. She almost drowned Malia, and Efaru and Aya was the ones who had to keep them apart when he said, "Okay, fight now, stop." Right? It was a little right, but Trey or 963, whatever her name is, Treasure, said that how there were fights there on a regular basis. Okay. There's fights there on a regular basis. So they would rush each other. It was like a fight. It was like a fight. It was, I can't think, Fight Club. It was like Fight Club. So as much as, I mean, I only react to the odd video sometime, but they really have to press my buttons for me to go there with them. I will say that you have to be mindful because children is involved at this present moment. Right now, Velvet has two daughters, now calling Solar Daddy. And as much as it pains me, it's nice to see people get together. I mean, I'm all for love. I am all for love. I'm all up for that. I mean, look at Flow and Vibes. If I was to put Flow and Vibes on here, you'll see how in love they are with each other. Okay. Black love is beautiful. It's absolutely a beautiful thing. I am all for it. Okay. Even if I myself haven't got it, I am up for it. But at the same time, right, he was a minion to Nature Boy, and she was the so-called chiefess before anyway. So, oh yeah, and on top of that, oh yes, before I forget, apparently she was visiting Nature Boy in prison. Okay, so all those who helped her, because Stinson, I think, was one of the ones who helped her, and others who helped her. I don't know all the names, right? I can't say I know the names because I never looked in it all that deeply, right? But I know on a whole, they tried to help her, try to make sure she was safe, and they tried to get her started on a new life, a new, new things because she has children basically, and now she's just come and spat in their faces, in a nutshell. And even though I'm not for Velvet, okay, I'm not for her. I'm not for her at all, right? But it's the fact that she has daughters, and to be honest, right? To be honest, she could have worked it. She could have gone to work. She could have done whatever. She could have. Her family was always there for her. Right? Her sister said that they were always there for her. It's her, it's her mindset, or she probably has some kind of mental health, something going on with her. And I'm not saying we all don't have mental something going on with us, but at the same time, people have to think logically on this thing here, right? It's not about making the quickest video or whatever. Sometimes it's just how can we save the children? And I'm not talking about calling CPS or all that stuff, even though sometimes I think, right? It's about the children involved. Jahomey, thank goodness, his mother woke up and has got him safely where she is. Thank goodness Jahomey's mum woke up. That's all I can say on that level. Even though I'm still skeptical of her, but I feel okay. Sheba, well, all right. I have to say this. She will have to prove that she is not for carbonation because this is the biggest test now. Now they all want to recoup. They all want to reconnect again. Now, is she gonna join them? Now that is the question. Aaron is out there, wherever he is. Don't know whether they're together or whatever. I'm not even gonna speculate. I'm not gonna assume because assuming I could be wrong. But from what I see, that yeah, like the family circle is very important, and I feel the deprogramming somebody it is a long process. Zoka is a good example of this. Zoka is a good example of this. Zoka will take years to deprogram. Zoka has been through a lot. She joined really young. She's very lost. She's very lost. She could be one of my daughters. That's how I see Zoka in some respects because I have daughters and she is very hard. It's touching to watch her because she has manic moments and you know she really believes in Nature Boy. She really believes in him in a lot of ways. And it's very worrying because they was talking the other day about offering themselves, it seems like in that video. I mean, I'm trying not to react on that video with Malia and the three of them right now. It sounds like they was gonna off themselves and we are like Maxwell said, and I can refer to quite a few people who follows them. Maxwell said is very it's very interesting watching the inside workings of a cult and how it works and how they deal with the people and how the people are when they come out and whether they cut away from that cult or whether they stay in that cult. That is a whole nother something else. So it's very deep in watching them. Some of them has cultural roots in a lot of things. Like so I'm gonna read your comments, Kaidigus. Some of them have deep rooted cultures naturally anyway. Like Solar is half Mexican, half Jamaican. Right there, he's got culture in him. The rest of the men, I don't know. One's turned to Dr. York's teaching. The other one, he says he's calling his wife Hadu. Hadu. Okay. So let me see what you're saying. Yes, I'm going to react to the fight again soon. That fight was so horrible. She gave Malia an infection due to the bite wound. Yeah, she did. Yes, I agree. I like when Remio covers YP. Yeah, he does it. He does it in a comical way, in it. Yes, she wanted to kill Malia. I think it was horrible. Yeah. She has wonderful children, and why won't she work and go to school like normal person? I don't get it. She doesn't want to grow up. She's stuck in carbonation because she went there so young. There's a video of her looking so young when she first came with OMAC or before. No, when she came with OMAC, she looked so young in her face, and she said she's the one who teaches her mother. Yeah. Yeah, she's the one who says that her mother is not the teacher, she's the teacher of her mother. Yeah, Zoka is very deep. I'm very worried about her. Yeah, Zoka is very manic. I think I've seen that in somebody though. It could be and well, I'm gonna. I don't know. I'll just put it out there. Maybe she's got schizophrenia or something. But her father said to World that she has mental episodes. So, you know, she really believes in what she's saying, whatever, you know what I mean? She's very young in her head, but if people look back on my old videos, they will see that one of Yahweh Ben Yahweh men, well, one of Ben Yahweh ex-members said that how when he was there, they was told to do atrocities and they was told to do stuff until when he realized what was going on, he had to cut, he had to run, he had to get away from them. And the only way he can get away from them was going to the police, this whoever. Um, that's one of the survivors. If you look further down my list of videos, you will find him explaining. He even talks about what happens in the cult. So cults are very deep. Eferu can flip flop. No, Eferu can flip. Yes, she can, because Eferu is the henchman of everything else. When let me see, let me pinpoint a time. There's a time when they were on a balcony and Malia got Nature Boy upset. So Malia set Janae and Eferu on Malia, right? And Eferu was up for beating Malia. They was on top of a balcony, mind you. So anything could have happened. They could have flipped her over. She could have fell through the rails. There's a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of risk assessments right over there. But Eferu is the shield and sword for Nature Boy. So if you can turn Eferu, I think Zoka can flip. Eferu is a little bit. I don't know. Eferu is. She's for the cause. That's what I get from her. When you watch her, even when he's abusing her live on her IG, she just sat there. But then later on, she's all up for it. She's all up for it. That's what I get from Eferu, from my observation watching her. She's up for it. I mean, she was in a different state when Janae and them when it was challenging Janae about what happened with her and Nature Boy. She was somewhere else. I think she was at her mum's house or somewhere, because her family. I think her family comes from that part, right? So basically, Eferu is all up for it. Eferu is up for whatever, right? And Aya, like I said, Aya, though she has family who loves her, but Aya is very clouded. Her mind's clouded. She's very clouded. I could say she's slow. Malia's just a side case altogether. Like I said, I could pinpoint certain times while watching them where her sister called in, or cousin-in-law, sister-in-law, god sister, and Nature Boy was in the middle of it, and he was weighing in on her god sister because her god sister was challenging him, and basically, oh yes, and the time when Nature Boy was on a live, and one of Malia's workers came on the live, and they was trying to see is she okay and stuff like that, and he was like just hovering over, and she couldn't, like, it's like she wanted to talk. I don't know. She gave him the impression that she wanted to talk to the woman, but she wasn't given the chance to talk to the woman. Oh, hi, ghetto child. She wasn't given the chance to talk to the woman, and basically he abused the woman's boyfriend at the time that was on the thing. I mean, there's lots of records recorded of him. There's no denying that he is good where he is. Basically, he's better off where he is than he is around the community. There are plenty Nature Boy. He's just one who's just probably shown on social media, but there are probably more nature boys everywhere. So we're not discounting that. We are just trying to say that how he abused so badly. I mean, I put up some of the videos on the community tab. Those are the two strongest ones I could find, right? And he did a lot. He did a lot. He did a lot. He's better off where he is. He is way better off where he is. And any person with a reasoning mind, sound mind, will think that, because it's pointless thinking he is who he is. I mean, many has come through, and then later on we find out they are into something else. So he, on the other hand, he has done a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. He beat up Maisha. If you go further back, before he started Melanation, he beat up Maisha to such a point she blanked out. She blacked out. She literally blacked out. How he didn't get charged was he said he was going to change and all that. So Maisha didn't charge him. She lifted the charges off of him, right? And Maisha kind of, tells her son he is a good man and all that stuff. Hi, Miss Wise, that he's a good man and all that stuff. But that's because she wants her son to know the dad, you know what I mean, in a good representation of the dad. But the thing is that the dad is not a good representation. He's actually a bad representation. Oh yeah, I always come on a mad time, but I will come on earlier because I've got to go get my younger, right? So if I cut the live, it's because I went to get my child. Okay, so basically, not only has he manipulated, he's abused. Like, Twitter was disgusting. Okay, and I did go and watch the Twitter. I watched the Twitter. Okay, it was disgusting. I was saying to everybody, why, what, how? Like, did he ask them? But there was a video where he asked the girls, can he put them on Twitter? And they said yes, they actually consented, which is really sad because what he must have told them that how you're going to be famous. But my impression of the whole thing on the whole, he said to them that they might be famous, they might get into stuff, they might be well known, judging by what he said to the neighbor that he does documentaries. So I'm thinking it's all that is underneath that, and that's why the youngsters tap into him so quickly. So even now, his old videos are floating around where he's in a nice green, lavish background. They are drawn to that because they are looking for another way of life. They're trying to find another way of life. They're trying to get out of so-called Babylon. They're trying to recoup themselves. They're trying to learn a new lifestyle under consciousness, but consciousness is the wrong consciousness. You know what I mean? It's the wrong consciousness. Whereas, like, yes, there is narcissists in the conscious community. Yes, there is. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, and they come in all different shapes and sizes and whatever. Nature Boy is a menace to society and way too manipulative. Yes, he is. He is that. And also, I would like to say, like, I never heard of the Christ consciousness, because most conscious people once do not deal with the Bible. They don't deal with the Bible. They don't sit in a church. They don't do certain stuff. A conscious person, the only way they'll go to a church is if their family invite them to churches, whatever. That's what I know of consciousness, of the woke community. The woke community don't deal with it unless it is a biblical organization, i.e. Hebrew Israelites, i.e. or Quran, a Nation of Islam, Moorish society, Asara set, Egyptian society. I don't know. There's a lot of them. Okay, Like Dr. York's was another Egyptian society, right? There are lots of organizations that does different stuff, that does different reasonings. Like the Rasta community has a priesthood where they deal with the Bible, and they have one that deals with Selassie's constitution, right? So if you know all that, if you know about the community like that, you understand why people on here is fighting to stop people like YP, Umar, Nature Boy, certain ones from making the community dysfunctional. Okay, because the community is already dysfunctional without the ones who's trying to help the people move to the next level, make it even more dysfunctional. Now there is there that I can give a whole explanation on the Rasta community because I was part of that, and I can give a whole explanation of the Nation of Islam because I was part of that. Because the Nation of Islam, even they have protocols and they have matriarchs in the Nation of Islam. So when somebody is taking on certain coats, certain liberty, you have to know, you have to read a lot of books. You can't just learn it all off of the net. The net is one line of learning. The net gives examples of stuff, history. Then you learn from that, then you take it to a whole nother direction, a whole nother level. If you want to join a organization, then yeah, then you go, you join an organization, but you have to be mindful of the organization because the organization can go the other way. But at the same time, you have to know that even the eco village people, the ones who deals with nature, even them, right, they will be part of the conscious community because they are the ones who grow the food, who teach people to grow the food. I already put up a community over here who's growing food. So when you're seeing people like Nature Boy who's manipulating youngsters, the youngsters are having a battle out here already. And then you're adding to that by telling them their family is an attachment. Your children is an attachment. You need to leave your children. You need to leave your family. You mustn't talk to your family is an attachment. That's when it gets a bit ridiculous because in the community, some of them still deal with their family, right? Not their family don't always agree with their liberty, that how they don't eat pork or they don't do certain stuff, but the family is around. So he was definitely giving wrong teachings, wrong ideologies. Fundi Fee's broken it down many times. The poly live liberty. When a man's poly, the women's not supposed to live together. They're supposed to live separately. The man have to take care of all of them. All right. It's not something that you use as a weapon against women and for you because you are a womanizer, for you to be sleeping with how many women. It's not for that. The whole idea of the poly life was that when a woman's husband died, she gets taken in by another family as well, and it's supposed to be economical. But anyway, I don't know much anyway, so I'll stop, okay? I don't know much, but I'll stop. But that's basically what it is. But basically, I will put up what the other tribe peoples, whatever, members are doing. I'm gonna put up a few of those ones when I can, and I'm gonna deal with Dark Side. You see, I went to Dark Side. Dark Side's got a lot of interesting, I would say, stuff because that one's a whole different genre. Okay, Dark Side of Oceanium is a whole different genre. People misunderstand it, but it's okay. I've been misunderstood for years, so it's nothing new. So yes, he is indeed a woman beater and learned from Nature Boy, and it is like a woman beater crew of abusive men. Yes, they are. They are woman beating crew of abusive because even Solar beat Zoka at one point. He beat Zoka at one point. because it was spoken about. Okay, it's not hearsay, it's from horse's mouth. Star came out and said a few things, and she was part of Carbonation. Star and Janae and Shaka and Azim did a whole live together. You'll find it anywhere on the YouTube streets, you can find it. And they was explaining a whole set of stuff that was going on in Carbonation. Now, though Shaka is a bit weird, yes, he is a bit weird. Bumi is okay, I suppose, but they explained it. They even explained it to Martin Lewis on his platform. Okay, the situation to which is going on, because like he flipped his lid. Nature Boy flipped his lid when he reached back to Babylon. He was doing a lot of stuff, smoking, doing all sorts of stuff. Even Janae, troublesome Janae, confirmed it. So at the end of the day, like I said, right, we can observe and we can verbalize what we see, and we can change the whole narrative of what is going on, because the community does actually need a cleanup. He's one of them that needs to go. He's in the right place where he is. Dr. York's been in prison for years, 100 and something years he got, 100 something years, right? I know my fellow ones who follow me might disagree, but he's actually in the right place where he should be, because he did so much atrocities. Okay. Now, like I said, whereas before the leaders would have died for the community, they don't do that. Now I talk about the moves, that was a whole community. Anybody who wants to talk about real eco-friendly people living in the 70s or 80s, whatever time there was, the moves had a whole place in Philadelphia. They bombed them. Now nobody wants to live like that. That's why people is trying to live outside of the beast or the beasts, because England and America is the beast. We are living in the beast, right? People are living in the belly of the beast, but he's there telling people what to do, what not to do, what not to do, and you're living in the beast yourself. So fair enough, right? Spaces can be turned into green. We people can grow stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. You can grow a little small thing. England's weather is so messed up. I grew some stuff, it killed it. So we can do that. But when people who live like you in the same sort of situation, Babylon, whatever they call it, and then they're trying to tell you not what to do, and they're doing the same thing. Oh, and another thing, there is a video of Malia and Aya walking around dressed in jeans and stuff like that. They're not tied up. They're not tied up on stuff. People feel because you put on a headscarf and some beads that's consciousness. That's not consciousness. Consciousness is a whole lot deeper than that. Consciousness is knowing who you are. Like me, I like how I put on that video with the Creole Trinidad. Sometimes I'll be learning new things about Trinidad that I didn't even know. Okay. And that's about all knowing of yourself. That's knowing you, right? Sometimes sometimes you need a little more deeper healing than others. Sometimes, right, you have to look into yourself before you can project outwards. That is a true thing. That's why I'm upset with Velvet with the little girls situation, because like I said, I have girls, I have daughters, and I also have a son. So I am not gonna sit back and watch this foolishness play out on the YouTube streets, the social media, because they are making the conscious community look stupid. They're making the conscious community look stupid. Anybody who wants to find themselves a youngster, and I'll use youngsters because youngsters are normally the ones who wants to find themselves. They want to grow locks. They want to be rebellious against society, right? On a whole, they will grow locks. They will eat differently. They will frequent themselves differently, and they would learn. But also some people have to work in a plantation so they can keep their bills flowing. So we can't say you shouldn't work and own money for your house, or you shouldn't work and you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't. listen, everybody comes from all different lifestyles, right? So no one is up here saying nothing about anybody. The only thing what we need to focus on is how Velvet and Solar is gonna develop into. How is that gonna develop? How is that gonna affect baby Ellie? Because remember, Solar said he he's gonna do some kind of revenge because of his daughter Love. So that's a danger. That's a danger right there. That's a danger. And I'm sure she heard it too. That's a danger right there. It's all well and good feeling like a queen, being treated like a queen or a chiefess, but you have to take into thinking that about your daughter, your children comes first before anybody, any man, any woman on the planet, right? That is the first priority, right? The first priority. And well, children on a whole. And like I said, the most vulnerable people on the planet is women and children, because they would either get killed or something. It's always something, honestly. And the world is just not getting better right now. So as I'm not turning this into a speech, I'm just saying in general, he's saying we are in the beast system and he is a beast himself, like he said. Yes, he's a whole beast. He's a beast. He is a demon. He is everything. You see him glitching on videos. He glitches on videos. He glitches on videos, definitely. He said he sacrificed many children. He said that on video. I seen it. So he got what he needed to get. He put himself in that predicament. Nobody put him there. He could have changed. He got warned many times. People on Bigo warned him and told him to change. He didn't want to change. Okay, he didn't want to change because he didn't like that just being normal. He wanted people to have the drama and everything else with it. Yes, he said he sacrificed a whole heap of children. Now, Sweet Martha Live explained about the tea, because I remember that interview with him and Velvet sitting talking to Madiva, and she was sipping tea. I actually remember that. So that makes a lot of sense what Sweet Mart is saying. Okay, so like I said, I don't support nature boy. I don't support carbonation. Yes, we have to put out their videos so people can see, so people can learn. Like if you come across this certain type of people, run. You have to run. You have to run. If they say to you, no, right, give us your ID, your card, your this, your that, you need to run. You have to run the next direction. Just don't take them up on their thing. And it's mostly very insecure women that is joining the with the men of carbonation. Musa is a good example. Now, I do remember that young lady that was sitting behind Musa. I do remember her. She, right, because when Wells said it, I said, oh, wow. She's from Crown Minelin. She's from Crown Minelin. That's where she's from originally. Okay. Where Velvet was going out with the older woman's son or something, or she did something with the son. I can't remember. But that part. Yes, he admitted it. There's a whole video with him saying it. So it's best to go as far back as before Velvet had the baby, when Olmac and Velvet was there. You have to watch, you have to look back as far as that and come to present time. It's a lot of watching, but it's better you do that than you just talk. People just don't know the deepness of this situation. This situation is very deep. And the fact that she went and she put in for the DV charges says a lot, because they surrounded her in a circle and he beat her. He beat her to her clothes tear off. That was the words used. Sybil had to help her. The other members had to help her, right? In the meantime, Malia was trying to run away. So if that's not a dysfunctional group already, whatever, I don't know what is. I don't know however else to put it. So that's why I made sure I ain't put up no video. I'm just talking straight from my mouth, because some people needs to hear this, because it's just like you you just like, wow, like he did a lot. He did a lot. He did a whole lot. Him, and then there's Yakin, and then there's another one. Oh my gosh, there's too many of them. There's too many of them. Then you got the copycats. Then you got the polygods. Then you got, oh, it just goes on and on and on forever. There's a lot of them out there. Like I said, there's a lot of nature boys out there in normal life and in the community, in the conscious community. So I'm just saying this in general, and I'm obviously going to come off because I have to go get my daughter. Please leave a comment underneath the video, because I know a lot of people be watching everybody, because I'll be watching everybody. I even does be typing in myself, because they there's so much, right? So what Velvet is doing is very evil to her daughter right now. She's setting her daughter up. She's setting her daughter up. You can't trust somebody like that with your daughter. As hell, you can't trust any man with your daughter. You can't trust any man with your daughter. Hell, let's say it. Right, let's be straight with it. You can't. No matter how long you known him. It's normally someone they know does stuff to the child. He said he's out for revenge, and you are going with the man. Are you serious? Are you serious? On the IG, you see he waking her up with a kiss and all this foolishness. Janae already spoke out and said what he did, and he confirmed that he spat on her, and you're there with somebody like that. Okay, so obviously you haven't learnt your lesson. You want attention, obviously. She wants attention, okay, right? I mean, it's nice to be a beautiful young lady. No one's disputing that. Yeah, it's nice to have beauty and all what else that comes with it. But there's no point having beauty and then you're nasty in the inside. It don't make no sense. You might as well just be with the simpletons and just be doing your thing. Just move, cut and go through and go move and do stuff for yourself. Like, you know, I'm talking from experience. You have to literally try and do better for your child, no matter the situation. You have to put yourself in a stead that suits this better for your child, so your child have a good environment, no matter what. Okay, so I'm not gonna go on and on and on. I just thought I'd just drop this right here, and I say my piece, and I'm gonna go. But thank you, Scotty, because yeah, thanks for sharing this, Amy. Oh, I haven't got a cash up. I have to send you the thing on. I'll have to DM you later. Velvet is so wrong for how she's moving. Exactly. How can Velvet be with a man who treated Janae like that? Why would she want to be with an abusive relationship? Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes, I'll DM you on IG. Exactly. Exactly. Now, all the reactors, all right, love them, hate them, whatever. Okay? Love them, hate them. You know what? Some of them be coming out with some gems, some interesting gems. It's just a matter of being around and listening at the right time to hear the right thing. Okay? Just a matter of listening at the right time. Right? People could call it obsessive, whatever. But sometimes it's better that they are obsessing over the guy, I suppose, looking at it from on the flip side, then they are supporting him. That's how I look at it, like that, because they've been looking at him for years. When I was watching him, I was just watching him. I was watching, not watching him directly. I was watching him through the reactors. Jazzy G, I think Uncle Black at one point. I think I didn't see Marwan at that time. I think I was one of SL Davis's subbies, right? So, like I said, there is a lot to consider Okay, people need to consider a lot. These children are not safe. End of. They're not safe. So I'm not going to support that. So it's fine. You know what I mean? I mean, like, as you saw, there's a bit of drama the other day. All right. But I know where I stand on my square when it comes to this situation, because you have to know like what is going on. You can't just insert. People talk about inserting self. Like, hi, Morbe. I insert myself into certain places. Yes, I do, and I have stood up for another person on YouTube. Funny enough, I have, or a couple people. I think I have. I've spoken for them, and it's been okay. So I don't see why people get upset when I'm trying to defend. Like, I would want someone to defend me on here if I'm not doing nothing wrong to nobody. I'm just doing my videos. And Nature Boy is very much, he is a negativity anyway. He is negative energy. He is a demon. He's everything else. I can't even think of the names right now, but you know, you have to think, like I said, think logically on certain stuff. Okay. So, like I said, I go to many reactors, love them, hate them, whatever, like my might. Okay. But at the same time, it's what is coming out of their mouth. That's what I'm looking at. What is coming out of their mouth, what they're saying, the receipts. The receipts is a lot. When you see people pull out receipts, when they pull out receipts like that and they can back it up, oh my days, that's even the word. That's even more bigger than ever, because then it defeats what the cult is saying. The cults are not good. Cults are not good places. Cults can turn into death. It could turn into a whole heap of things. Many children die in cults. Okay, they die in cults. All right, and this is by research as well. I'm not just talking off my chest. Like I said, I've done past information on cults, long lives on cults. Yeah, with receipts. The source was another one. The Yahweh Ben Yahweh. There's a lot of them. There's a lot, right? And my channel nearly ended up being just cult information. I had to stop. It was too much. It's too much. So you have to be mindful of certain things and be mindful of everything. Like, think about if it was your relative, what would you do if they was there? Because I would have to section mines. I'm afraid to say, I would have to put them somewhere. I would have to go and physically take with the law and go physically take them out wherever they are and section them. There's no other way to deprogram somebody like that. They need deprogramming. They need to understand what they are talking about is not good. Right? You're hurting yourself. You're eating once a week or whatever. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm not gonna go driving on and on and on and on. Yeah. But yeah, so I am gonna unplug from the live right now, and I'll see you in my other videos. Check out all the videos. They may not be on carbonation, but that's how I flow. Okay, you can go over to the dark side, and that's another energy. I think that's like I don't know, I'll call it the shadow working area. Maybe I might have to call it the shadow working area, because it does touch on stuff that people probably would not talk about on most channels, maybe. So yeah, but thank you for passing through, people. I said that twice now. All right, Skydicus, Remiel, Miss what? Miss Wise, Ghetto Child, Morbay, So please take care, look after yourself, take care of your family. Your family's getting to this situation. No, well, no. What I'm gonna say is put yourself in their family shoes for a time, watching their people on YouTube getting abused, all sorts of things. You can't do nothing. You just gotta watch. Even and then when you call up and when you go to the IG where they are, the leader abuses you. They can't tell you nothing. They can't say nothing in private. The leader's standing right there. Then you, the relative, go to the videos and you see him doing all sorts of things. You go to the Twitter, he's doing all sorts of things. You go to here, he's doing all sorts of things. You see all the screenshots, all the everything. That's a lot to take in for a relative. So you have to put yourself in that mindset. And that's what I'm gonna leave it on now, okay? So with that said, I'll see you later. Till next time. Bye.